So many troopers. I mean, Elton, Lennon, all of those guys went through that.
My situation is unusual. There's probably not one who's done it, who's had my success and not been affected by that stuff.
In the aftermath of Michael Jackson's death, public interest intensified as bizarre details of the investigation leaked out. Everyone had a theory on how Michael died.
The media gives us different views of what took place. You need to analyze it on your own, what you think took place, what the facts are, and what the truth is.
Larry Seidlin was the presiding judge in the trials following the death of Anna Nicole Smith. In the recurring tragedies that make the celebrity overdose an all-too-familiar story, Judge Seidlin and many others see a common story of powerful stars who are manipulated and endangered by the people around them.
I saw a parallel between the way Michael Jackson died and the way Anna Nicole died. There was too many drugs, people enabling her by giving her all these drugs, and it led down the path of death.
When you have that kind of fame and that kind of extraordinary talent, people around you are very often using you for one thing or another.
The hard proof finally came out in the coroner's report 8 months after Michael died. The coroner's report reads like a medical handbook, revealing a complex array of prescription drug abuse.
We had been told earlier on that there were certain drugs involved. Propofol, also called Diprovan, Midazolam, also called Versed, Lorazepam, which is Ativan, Diazepam, which is Valium. We knew that these drugs had been prescribed by Dr. Murray, by Dr. Klein, by Dr. Mesker, and who knows by what other people.
He did say many years ago to me, Deepak, have you heard of this thing that takes you to the valley of death and then brings you back? He was obviously talking about this anesthetic.
The autopsy reported the usual cocktail of antidepressants and painkillers. But what shocked everyone was the official cause of death: acute propofol intoxication. The report ruled Michael's death a homicide as a direct result of the actions of his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray.
He was somebody that we really never met. That was the person that Michael wanted to take on tour. He picked him, we didn't.
This is the drug that Dr. Murray said that he gave Michael Jackson. It's called Propofol, brand name Diprovan. It has to be put through an intravenous line.
It's very fast acting. It puts you out. It gives you a huge sense of euphoria. And if you go a little bit beyond the edge, you are in the valley of death.
I know of no case, I've not seen one in all my years, in which someone has died from propofol drug abuse. And the reason is this is not a drug that you buy over the counter. It's not a drug that I as a doctor can prescribe for you. It's a drug that is found only in the hospital.
Well, from what I've read about Dr. Murray's background, supposedly he was trained as a cardiologist, and then he's starting to use anesthetic drugs that he's not even trained in using. So he doesn't know how to dose the medication.
Aside from Dr. Murray's lack of training as an anesthesiologist, there are indications in the autopsy report and the 911 calls that Murray failed even the most basic emergency procedure.
Did anybody witness what happened? No, just the doctor, sir. The doctor's been the only one here. Oh, you got the doctor there? Okay, so the doctor see what happened? Doctor, did you see what happened, sir?
There was a doctor there, and the doctor was doing CPR on the bed.
He's pumping his chest, but he's not responding to anything, sir. Please. Is he on the floor? Where's he at right now? He's on the bed, sir.
Firefighters, realizing that that was a wrong procedure, gave them orders to take the patient, Michael Jackson, off the bed so that you had a firm surface on which to do CPR.
Okay, let's get him on the floor. Okay. Okay, let's get him down to the floor. I'm going to help you with CPR right now, okay?
Now, there's conflicting stories. Michael's on the floor, he puts him on the bed, then he does CPR on a fluffy bed. Well, if he's a cardiologist, he should know that a hard surface is the best place to do chest compressions.
Not only are Murray's life-saving efforts being called into question, his basic reporting of facts in the police report are now in dispute.
Conrad Murray told the police originally that at a certain point in that day, he found Michael Jackson having trouble. And then, at that point, started to do whatever it is he was going to do to help him out. But then that was contradicted by the phone records. The police naturally got the phone records. And when they saw the phone records, they realized that after that time that Conrad Murray gave as having first noticed Michael Jackson was in trouble, Conrad Murray was talking on the phone to other people.
In a calm, businesslike manner, Dr. Murray made several phone calls that would have occurred after the time he told police he found Michael unconscious.
This is Dr. Murray from Bob. Hi, how are you? Sorry I missed you. Just wanted to talk to you about your results of ECP.
Even if Dr. Murray's details were understandably confused in the rush of events that day, the biggest question remaining is how it took nearly 90 minutes from the time he discovered Michael to the time he instructed security staff to place the 911 call.
So the paramedics come 90 minutes later. The guy was probably brain dead right there at that point. So there was nothing to resuscitate. So precious time was lost.
We call it the golden hour. If paramedics can get on scene and spend as much time as necessary to stabilize the patient, chances for his life to be saved are great.
I think he got really scared. He realized Michael Jackson, this is Michael Jackson. You know, it's just not anybody. He's laying there, no pulse, unconscious. What is he going to do? It's a panic situation.
He was there to take care of Michael Jackson as a physician. He had an ethical, moral, and professional responsibility, and he failed. He failed abysmally. He is a trained physician. You don't do something that you know is wrong, and you don't do it because the patient says, "Hey, doc, let me tell you, man, what really works for me."
Somebody should have said, listen, I'm not going to do this because this is not something that's even feasible in the home.
The mere administration of propofol for sleep is way outside the standard of care. It's just not done.
Anesthesia is not sleep. It's not the same. So you don't feel the same when you wake up. You don't feel rested. It's not a treatment for insomnia. It's a treatment for getting people through medical procedures and surgeries.
In my view, this was an illegal procedure. It should not have happened outside a hospital setting.
The autopsy report seemed to generate more questions than it did answers. Too many loose ends have contributed to a growing course of questions and theories of a larger conspiracy and even a cover-up.
When you read the autopsy report, the first thing that strikes you is the fact that propofol and lidocaine were found in Michael Jackson's stomach contents. There are only two ways that the lidocaine propofol mix could have gotten into Michael Jackson's stomach. One, he drank it himself, or two, Conrad Murray put it in there.
Neither theory has been proven in a court of law, but has only added more suspicion and speculation as to the validity of Dr. Murray's story.
The dosage that Conrad Murray says he gave Michael Jackson is not believable. This is how much propofol we use to put somebody to sleep. To keep somebody Michael Jackson's size to sleep for hours, you would need at least 10 to 14 of these bottles. This is how much Conrad Murray says he gave Michael Jackson, 25 milligrams, to keep Michael Jackson asleep for 8 hours. Conrad Murray, this little 25 milligrams that he claims that he gave Michael Jackson, there's no way that that would last for 8 hours, nor would it keep anybody asleep for any period of time.
From whence cometh the propofol? Who prescribed it? Who obtained it? And that's why I think that there are more people involved, and I believe that before this is all over, you will find other people being named.
Conrad Murray left the premises for 4 hours to go see a call girl. That's called murder. Let me see the hands who's reporting. It's all on the internet.
You gotta wonder if he wasn't killed. My first thought when the movie was over, this is it. They killed him. Because they don't have to mess with him anymore. They have all this music, all this footage. We're gonna have Michael Jackson till the day we die. It seems like everybody's better off and richer without Michael.
I've heard that a lot of folks say that Michael was worth more dead than alive. It breaks my heart to hear this. Is it true? I don't know whether it's true. Time, I think, is the only judge that we can ever have of that.
We don't know what happened behind closed doors. We don't know what happened in his house. What we do know, and as an observer of celebrity culture, it's not really a surprise that he ended up an addicted person and the people around him using and abusing him endlessly. It's a horrible Hollywood tragedy, an American tragedy, and a human tragedy.
Is the thing that you fear the most or would be the saddest thing for you?
If somebody to cheat me, but I won't go for that.
Would be the fact that you would give in like Elvis did to all these vices, or...
Oh, I know that's not going to happen.
You don't even worry about that.
No. We knew that Michael had a medication problem.
Hey, good morning.
Mr. Farino, thank you.
How are you?
How was he without a shirt? Was he toned?
Yeah, all white.
All white?
White.